There's a brighter day. Mother used to tell me, oh, there's one somewhere. Yes, it is. There's a brighter day. Oh, mother used to tell me, there's one somewhere. Yes, it is. And if I keep on looking, my Lord, I believe one day I'll find, oh Lord, a brighter day, brighter day, yes, a brighter day, somewhere, oh Lord, somewhere.
Russ was, in the true sense, my alma mater. I came from Birmingham, Alabama, industrial city with the tracks and the people on the other side of the tracks, and that's where I came from. I was led to Russ, and I never regretted it. And I stayed and I studied and I did well academically and scholastically. And more than that, though, I adopted some of their love of people and love of righteousness and stuff like that, which gave me a good footing for my own life. And so I've always been appreciative of that. And since I don't live too many miles away, I go back as often as I can without getting in anybody's way. You see, I was not elected to come to Russ. I was appointed to come to Russ. See? I don't know if you understand that, but that means that the powers that be in the church and in the educational circles sent me to be president of Russ. They asked me one year and I wouldn't go. I was doing better than I did at Russ. I had a wonderful church in San Antonio, Texas, had over 1,000 members, had everything that we always wanted, a grand parsonage, well-furnished, money, everything. And then they asked me to go to Russ. Well, I had pinned through Russ, and I knew they were on the downhill. And I was selfish, and I didn't want to go. Yeah, I didn't want to go. But I went, and I never regretted it. I had a great time, not a ha-ha-ha time, but a challenge time. And in the 10 years that we were there, we did what we could do. And then after the civil rights movement came in, I knew that the time had come for a change. Some people don't know that even now. We want to do the same thing we've been doing, but the time had come for a change. You know, when you talk about the past, you have to take everything in consideration. The social life, the economic life, political life, all of those were different. See, this is nearly some 30 years ago. And so things were so different until it's almost impossible to make any comparisons. We were just beginning to talk about accreditation for the college. We were just beginning to talk about upscaling faculty salaries and things that now are taken for granted. Well, it was very, very difficult. We were there during the civil rights movement, and that was a real serious challenge because I was for it, as you might suspect, all of the way. That doesn't mean that every faculty member was, or every board trustee member was. And the students were over anxious. So my job really was to keep them active and interested without being over anxious, right? Over enthusiastic. We had an informal ad hoc meeting, committee meeting, a selected group of young fellows particularly. See, in those days, the women had made their bid for liberation yet. And so we could get the young men and meet anytime that we wanted to. And we just explained the situation and gave them pointers on what to do and why they're doing it and things of that nature. Well, I guess we made a lot of friends. While that was not our particular aim, we did make a lot of friends, and a lot of people came to know Russ College. We used to have an awful lot of visitors from Iowa and Minnesota, North and South Dakota, California. There's a lot of places, and these were people whom I had met in different places. It's a peculiar thing, but this relationship business of connection between people is so important. Yes, no, people, you see, that as I said earlier, that was just a different climate in those times. We had white friends, so to speak, but they didn't dream that we were seeking the kind of equality which finally came to be, that we would be able to do anything that they did and should have the freedom to try that. But they thought you were good persons and so on, some but. And that but was always there. But you're black, or you're a Negro, or you're whatever, that demeans just a little bit. The equality thing just didn't stick then. And of course, it hasn't stuck all the way now. And that's from either side or both sides. It's pretty much true, and it's basically economic. It's also educational. We have to admit that. And so that was my aim at that particular time, and I thought it was a legitimate aim. To make us known and to get before the public. It's, public relations, one of the strong things in American culture. And so we were trying to do it not just for that, but because it's a legitimate claim, and we were trying to present it. Well, I expect to hear refreshing thoughts that would benefit young people who are trying to make a basic philosophy for their lives. That's what it's all about. Everything you hear, everything you read, you unconsciously or consciously pick up parts of it, like building stones in your own life. Now, people who fritter away their time and their life wake up one day 40 years old with nothing. And of course, I do worry because I'm just essentially idealistic. I dream about what could be, what ought to be, and things like that. And yes, we've been very paradoxical, and that's our good thing about us and our bad thing. We're paradoxical in the sense that we challenge any student. If he's desirous of an education, come to us and we'll take care of you. See? But at the same time, a lot of students who are not interested in education come. And so they don't want to do anything, mess around and waste time, but we got them there. And thus far, we've tried hard to stay true to our calling, to our birthright, and to our heritage. That doesn't dismiss our responsibility to give a solid education to everybody who comes. Sometimes maybe we let that slip by us a little, but we shouldn't.
There's a brighter day. Mother used to tell me, oh, there's one somewhere. Yes, it is. There's a brighter day. Oh, Mother used to tell me, there's one somewhere. Yes, it is. And if I keep on looking, my Lord, I believe one day I'll find, oh Lord, a brighter day, brighter day.